Hi, I'm Chas, and you're watching Chas's Crazy Creations. Today we're going to be working on some aluminum foil or tin foil hacks. So for this first hack, I don't need a large piece of tin foil, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it. And then I'm going to go ahead and kind of wad it up a bit, like this, to help me with the next step. So as you can see here, my hot glue gun is oozing and it's about to drip. I want to clean that up and maybe even clean it up before I put it away. So one thing I can do is take my wadded up piece of tin foil and clean off the tip of my hot glue gun. Especially as it's cooling, I want to make sure it's nice and clean for the next time I use it. So the tin foil offers insulation between your hands and protects them, but cleans off all the glue. So you can also wear silicone tips on your fingers to help protect them as well. Sometimes we have bags like this and there's no way to seal them. You have to fold them and put a clip on them or something like that. So we are going to use a piece of tin foil and an iron to seal this bag. Now, one thing I need to do is protect my surface. So you can put a towel down if you want, but basically you're going to open up the tin foil and lay it out. This also works great to protect your surface because it'll help protect, keep the heat away from your surface. Next, I'm going to take the bag and lay it down like this. So as you can see here, I have a piece of tin foil from earlier. So I'm going to simply place half of it under, keep the plastic in the top, and then fold this on top like so. So here's my iron. I have it on the dry setting. So no steam. You don't want any water or steam coming out of it. I have it set on the cotton setting, so nice and hot. And now all I do is place the iron onto the tin foil and let it sit there for just a few moments. Then next, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift it back off. Now, you do wanna press a little bit because what you're doing is kind of melting the plastic between. And then as you can see here, I have now sealed this plastic for my next use. So this is a great way when you don't have something that seals with a Ziploc or anything like that. You can go ahead and melt that plastic back together for a future use. Okay, so for this next hack, I'm going to go ahead and leave the tin foil down. And I'm bringing out some clothes. So I, once again, have this little item of clothing that needs some of this. It needs to be ironed. And this piece right here needs to go down. And this happens all over this particular outfit. So I am going to go ahead and once again, dry setting. And then use the appropriate setting for the clothes. So this is a cotton piece, so I've got it on the cotton setting, but the temperature is dependent upon the item of clothes. So I'm gonna carefully go in here and I'm gonna go ahead and iron this piece. I want to try and make sure it's being a little stubborn, doing what I want it to do, and I don't wanna burn myself. So let me come back here and straighten this out just a little better for this. There we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and come in on this edge. I'm gonna iron it in just a little bit here. Usually doesn't take too long. Now, let me teach you about this cool hack that I learned by using a little aluminum foil. So as you can see here, I've gotten this to stay down, but the great part about this hack is by using the tin foil or aluminum foil, you get more bang for your buck because it irons both sides. It's pulling the heat back in from underneath. So I'm also getting the ironing done on the opposite side. So you get the top and the bottom done at one time. And sometimes you can even be lucky enough to go through 2 layers. So if I iron this whole top piece here, it's gonna go ahead and go through all the way through. So you wanna make sure it's nice and flat and straight. You're gonna come in, you're gonna give a little iron, and then it's gonna go all the way through and you're gonna be able to iron both sides at the same time. So as you can see here, this is ironed and then I'm gonna go underneath and it's also ironed underneath too. So super easy hack with aluminum foil. Okay, so I've got a small piece of tin foil here to protect my surface. I've got a little piece of paper here, and you could do this on cards or wood or anything here. What I've got is a aluminum foil that is colorful. You can buy these at craft stores. And I'm simply going to place this. I was trying to decide the best way I want to do this. It's so hard sometimes when you're like, you have an idea, but you're not sure it's going to work. We'll go for it though. So we'll just take a risk. And I'm going to go ahead and tape this so that it stays flat and doesn't roll back up on me. This comes as part of a kit. Doesn't work with just general foil. So this is a special kind of foil kit from Plaid or Folk Art. It's called the Hot Pen Tool. Hot Foil Pen. So it comes with some and you can buy more, but basically it is a foil and you want the matte side down and the shiny side up. So you heat up your foil pen. It looks like this. This part right here gets hot. It's kind of like a wood burning tool, or a small iron of sorts. So this part gets hot and you just simply turn it on and it's ready to go. Now you can write a design on here and have it transfer. You can freehand it and create some lovely art. Again, if you're making thank you cards or you're embossing something, this is a great, if you're a scrapbooker, this is great. You could also do something like this on wood blanks. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna simply go in with the hot tool and I'm gonna go ahead and write the word survivor on here. And so all I do is press down and write the word there we go, like so. And now that I'm done, I'm gonna go set my tool aside and we're gonna carefully peel it up. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna remove this tape carefully, like so that I can bring it closer to you and you can see me peel it up. So here we are, and I'm gonna lift it up and now you can see the creation that I've made. Now my goal initially was maybe to get it on this ribbon, so I didn't aim very well, but I think it turned out lovely. And I can frame this or glue it, Mod Podge it to a card. I can do whatever I want to with it. So, but fun, easy foil hack, creating DIYs with this hot tool. Okay, so I've got a piece of tinfoil here, and before I talk about this votive and what we're gonna do with it, if you ever have wax stuck in a container, you can always take some tinfoil and go inside and use it like this, and it will scrape out the wax with ease. So there's another little hack and tip for you. Now, what I wanna do is measure this. So I wanna measure the top and the bottom, so I'm gonna put a little dot here at the top. Just as a guide, it doesn't have to be perfect. And then I need to roll this so that I can make sure that I get all the way over. So I'm gonna get over here like this and make sure it touches. Give it a guess here. It, like I said, doesn't need to be perfect. I'm just kind of trying to create what I'm doing. And so now I just need to draw the line to connect the dots. So we're gonna go ahead and draw the line like this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and finish that line on this side. It's okay if it overlaps a little bit, but we're just trying to know where I need to cut it next. So next, taking the scissors, just gonna go ahead and cut the foil. Now this next step after I finish cutting is up to you. So you are welcome to go ahead and crinkle. You can leave it flat, you know, like that. You can crimple it up and then get more texture out of it if you want. So, you know, it's kind of up to whichever look you're going for. What I'm gonna do for this one is I'm gonna carefully place it here, and then I'm gonna take this punch and I'm just gonna punch some holes in it. And so I've protected my surface. And I'm really just doing this randomly, so it doesn't really matter how much or how many or anything. It's really up to you what you want to do with it. You could create a pattern if you really wanted to. but I'm just gonna go in and punch, you know, a bunch of holes randomly all over the tin foil. And now that that's done, it's kind of created its own cool texture on its own. But I'm gonna move this, bring this back. And now I'm gonna take, and I'm gonna stick this inside here. So I need to kind of get it started. And I'm gonna place it in. It's gonna probably overlap a little bit. So I'm getting it in there. And then I'm gonna press it out to the sides a bit. So I wanna get it all the way out. Now I could leave it just like this, but I wanna try something a little different. So this kind of gives a mercury glass illusion. For those who like that, you could Mod Podge it out so it stays wide open. It's really up to you. So I'm gonna place a battery operated tea light inside, and that will hopefully help the bottom stay a little more open too. And then spread this out. But then I wanna double layer it. So actually I've got another candle holder right here. I'm gonna place this inside of this. And now we're gonna go ahead and take a look at it and see what it looks like. So here it is with the lights dim, and you can see through all the holes that are inside. Okay, so a lot of people don't know that wrapping paper is not recyclable. I should say very few are. So this is one way to be more eco-friendly for any occasion. And I think it actually looks pretty. So I'm gonna go ahead and measure out just like I would with wrapping paper. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut the aluminum foil to size. Now I could have torn this off with the little cutter that it comes with too. Now you can use whatever texture you want. So if you want the matte side to be out, you can use the matte side out. You could texture it if you want and have a little fun with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip this over now. And I'm gonna go ahead and fold it up. Now the great other thing that happens with aluminum foil is a lot of times you don't even need tape. So I'm gonna go ahead and fold this up like so. I'm gonna go on the one end, fold it in just like this, and then fold that up. Go to this end, fold that. Maybe not the most perfect job, but as you can see here, it's there, and I have not used any tape. So that's how easy that is. And then the next step is you can use an eco-friendly wrap if you want. You can also add a bow to it. Now I tend to reuse my bows if I have them or somebody's given them to me, but you could also use string, or you could create something fun out of tin foil to put on top. But very simple and very helpful, you know, to use throughout the year. So for this next hack, I have a piece of tin foil that I folded in here, and then I've added water and put it in a pan. Now, depending upon what you're doing this to, you may need a larger pan or a larger piece of aluminum foil. I have done this in stock pots for bigger pieces. Next, I've turned it onto high heat. I want to get this thing going and get it to a boil. Next, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of baking soda. Now I have a whole post on my blog and on my YouTube channel regarding silver cleaning hacks. So if you want to see more about that, hop on over. Now comes the super fun part. So this is a very tarnished piece of silver, and I'm going to use tongs to help me so that I don't burn myself. But watch closely how fast this works. All you do is place it into the water. Let it sit in there for a few moments, and it pulls the tarnish right off. It's amazing how quickly it works. And then when you're ready, you pull it out, and it's perfectly clean and silver. So this works on a lot of them. If it's more tarnished, you can always place it back inside and give it another chance to sit in there. The aluminum foil actually collects some of the tarnish on it, so when you pull your aluminum foil out later, it tends to be black. And then you just pull it out, and it's all clean and ready to be used again. And a quick note about silver. Once it's all clean, put Put it in a Ziploc baggie and remove as much air as possible. This will help keep it from tarnishing because air is what oxidizes and changes and tarnishes our silver. So if you keep things like your jewelry and your utensils and different things inside a Ziploc baggie with little air, it will help keep those silver much longer. And I hope this inspires you to try some tinfoil hacks of your own. I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel and my blog at chascrazycreations.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.